Hi guys, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. I'm so sorry that I'm late. It's 8:28 and I was supposed to be on at 7 o'clock, so I fell asleep and my eyes won't stop watering. So for you, those of you that are here, thank you. It's the new moon, so let's talk about that. New moon. New moon. Okay. Let's get a better shot if we can. If we can. Wow. Hi. Hi, Subliminals and Tarot. You guys, I'm so sorry. Let's talk about the new moon. Hi, keeping it so real. How are you? Happy new moon. You guys, I can't get my eyes to stop watering, so my makeup's just gonna be, who cares? Starlight, hi! I love you. How are you? I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy. Okay, everybody. There's 4 of us so far. Let's talk about the new moon. Type and tell me the things that you love about a new moon. Oy. I know that you love me too, sweetie. I'm so happy to have you in my life. There we go. I think that might be a better shot. Cougar. Okay. Hi, everybody. Again, I'm so sorry I'm late. My husband's like, just say that we were somewhere. I'm like, no. Nope. I'm going to tell the truth. I fell asleep. I'm so sorry. Okay, so the new moon. This is a great time to do these things. And I'll read them to you. It's a great time. Happy new moon. I'm glad that you're doing so well, Salinas. Okay, shadow work. It's a great time for shadow work right now. And if you guys don't know what shadow work is, it's when you reflect. It's kind of like counseling. Like, you reflect upon what made you the person you are today. And if you have issues, like from childhood, you're supposed to reflect and find out, you know, what issues brought you to where you are today. And that's really difficult sometimes because you have to dive deep. And sometimes our brains hide things from us to keep us safe, but I think that those things sometimes need to be presented to us. So, okay, it's a great time to be writing in your journal. It is the time that a lot of women, it's the darkest moon, so a lot of women are on their period. Venus is in retrograde right now, yeah? Good time for shadow work. Absolutely. I don't know too much about the planets being in retrograde, but this summer, we had 6 in retrograde at one time. So this summer, was the end of it, middle to end, was absolutely chaotic. It's a great time for release. Anything that you need to get rid of. Any old grudges that you need to get rid of. You can do an easy spell. Yeah, summer was insane. I can't believe we all got through it, to be honest. Like, at the point that I started my channel, what was it, like July? I mean, it was so hot here. Everybody was absolutely crazy with, in their heads. Okay, so it's a great time for release. It's a great time to ground yourself. It's a great time to plant seeds. And if you're a gardener, this means both metaphorically and realistically. But when we're talking about metaphorically planting seeds, we're talking about, setting goals and intentions. That's another part of this. It's a really good time to just be like, kind of reflecting, look at the month that we've had so far, and then trying to figure out, like, how we can do better, how we can change upon that. It's such a great time to be creating art. Like, if you guys don't think you're an artist, that's fine. But just start, like, doing journaling, trying to reflect. just, even if you're not a writer, maybe just get a little tiny notebook for 50 cents, 2 for $1, and just start writing like your feelings and your energy on the new moon. And then record it on the full moon and see how they're different and see how you feel. It's a good time to be listening internally. The full moon is big, there's a lot going on, it's chaotic. This is the other half where we just kind of dive in and soak in internally, and kind of goes along with grounding yourself too. So you have really strong intuition at this time, and that's another reason why you need to listen deeply. It's a good time to connect with the darker goddess. Yes, yes, Starlight, it is definitely a good time to connect with the darker goddess. Anytime you want to do any little bit of darker work, you're definitely going to want to do it with the darker moon. Hi, Brenda! So glad you're here. Sorry I'm late. Okay, so set goals, intentions. It's a great time to balance your home. It's a great time to clean and refine your home. I love that you guys know each other now. It's a good time to scry. And we're going to read through some of these books. Hi, Crystal Quartz. We've got a few books here that we're going to be reading from today. This one. This one. Oh, yeah. This one. Hi, Purple Sky. I'm really glad that you guys are happy. I mean, here and happy. I'm glad for all of it. And the majority of what we're reading from is I did something really creative, and I went through this book. And it has spells like, you know when a spell says it's best on the waxing moon, or it's best on the waning moon, or best on the new moon, or best on the full moon. I went through my book, and I put different markers on each spell, and then, so if you guys, I'm going to talk about some spells for the new moon, some spells for etc. Okay, so when we get together and we do these live moons, we're gonna figure out some really awesome stuff to do, and that's the stuff that I have to go through. So let's talk about it. Oh, it's a great time to scry because you have that that strong intuition. Okay, so if you're going to be scrying, then what you're going to be doing is you'll have that strong voice during this time. During the full moon, the energy is more just like chaotic and great, but during the new moon, it's really our time to be quiet and reflect. Okay, be quiet internally, like listen, be quiet. Natural focus. We've got a lot of natural focus at this time, and so that is what's going on during the new moon, y'all. I just like to do like old school hand cutting creative arts. Do you guys like to do that too? Okay, first we're going to start, and we're going to talk from my, like, day planner, and it just says some cool stuff about the moons in October. I get these. And, October's moon at a glance. October 8th, the new moon, right now. Get up, stand up. In order to get, pet projects off the ground, you may need to fight for your rights against control freaks who are plotting to take over and lead your innovative ideas. And then it also talks about the full moon that's coming up in 2 weeks from today. And it says about the full moon that's 2 weeks from today, I'll just say because it's a snippet. Fight crazy with crazy. Oh, Christ. That'll be fun. If you have an emotional, manipulative person in your life who pulls your strings with guilt and games, it is time to use logic, cunning, and surprise to keep one step ahead of their... What? Machinations? I don't even know what that word means. It says machinations, like machine and Asians, whatever. And then it says at the end, Happy Halloween! In Europe, werewolf legends grew side by side in pop. Oh my god, I forgot to tell you guys. I got Samhain, I got Samhain off. I'm off on Halloween. Like, there was a lineup of people. Everybody at the restaurant has kids. But I asked first. So I have Halloween off, so we're definitely going to be doing something radical on Halloween night. Yeah. Okay, on to the next book. Also Lewin's, but this is like, it goes through the whole entire year. Um, and it just like says like all the moons, and it says the best time to plant seeds, literally. It goes into gardening, it goes into astrology, it goes into tables. I mean, it really is awesome. But here's what it says about today, right now, okay? New moon in Libra, October 8th. Authority figures could rankle for some of... Authority figures could rankle for some this new moon, and solace might be found in the pursuit of self-improvement, beauty treatments, delicacies, or china plates. Mars in Aquarius does a do-si-do with the moon and helps some of the shyer folks to speak up for themselves. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. I'm a Gemini, if you guys didn't know. And I bet now you're like, mm-hmm. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Your sociable side is in full gear. Yeah, it is. As in your sense of purpose. Be decisive and don't look back. Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, and Pisces, you may be influenced by others whom wouldn't usually heed. Why is that? Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, keep your head down as mavericks may be punished. Woo. Okay, and then it goes on to talk about, the next full moon and such. But we'll talk about that on the next one. Okay, now we're going through here because I just wanted to talk about, some notes that I've made on the new moon, and I just wanted to talk about moon magic in general, because this book does have a couple good snippets on it. And it says, the new moon. New moon projects support beginnings. The inception of new ideas, plans, projects, relationships, and activities. Now is the time to plant symbolic seeds that represent whatever you wish to create in your life. Cast spells to launch a new business, begin a relationship, or to start a family. As the moon moves towards its full phase, you can watch your endeavor develop. So the next 2 weeks, whatever seeds you plant now, in the next 2 weeks they're going to start to develop. The new moon is a good time to do divination too. Okay. Keep a lunar journal. It suggests it again. You may find it useful to keep track of the moon's phases for a few months to get a sense of how the energy shifts and how it affects you personally. Because we could talk about the new moon and the full moon and what it does for someone, but you may feel the complete opposite. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of people say, everything you say about the full moon, I feel opposite. And that makes sense to me too. Like, some people just really dig certain stuff. Okay, so in this book, which is totally organized the wrong way, but has some really good information in it. Like, if this was organized better, there's an app called Luna Solera that helps keep track of moon phases. Super helpful. Thank you, Starlight. That's great information. So, all the ones in dark blue are the new moon. All the ones in red are the waning moon. All the ones in light blue are the full moon, and all the ones in yellow are the waxing moon. And that was just colors that I could just make a key and follow myself. So let me go through some of these new moon spells, and then you guys can tell me if you want me to read them in full and or do a video on them, for the next upcoming new moon. Okay, so the first new moon spell that's in here is Seeding the Future, a new moon ritual. What intentions for the coming months? What can you imagine? Can you bring into being? This ritual will aid in getting you what you want and need for yourself and loved ones. Sounds interesting. Okay, the next new moon spell is if you need a new job. So I've got a new moon spell from this book if you need a new job. And actually, what I do with these books is I look at the information, I take the information, and then I make it my own. And that's what you should do with your stuff too. Just always change it up at least a little bit to put your own witchy signature on it and make it like your spell. And you use your intuition to do that. And that's why a new moon is a great time for that, because we're just full of intuition. Okay, and starting tomorrow, so let's talk about moon phases super quick. When the moon is full, okay, yeah, let's start when the moon is full. New moon is great for setting intentions and manifestation. Absolutely, Brenda. So when the moon is full, which is 2 weeks from today, it can't get any bigger, right? So it starts to wane, which means it gets smaller for 2 weeks until it gets dark. And now we're at the new moon, okay? So now that the new moon is dark and nothing and zero and gone, it starts to build up, and this is how I remember it, because word association, waxing. It starts to put wax on it and get bigger. Like, think of layers of wax getting bigger. The moon is going to be waxing after this new moon, which is nothing, turns into a full moon, which is all of it. Okay, so 2 weeks, it's a full moon again. And then when it's full, it starts to wane into that dark moon again. And when it's dark, then it starts to wax back into that full moon. So I hope that that makes sense a little bit. And then when we talk about these spells, if it says it's a waning moon, it's right after that full moon. And it starts to wane down. And a waxing moon is going to be the next, 12 days between the new moon and the full moon where it grows bigger. Okay, so right now, the moon is at its very darkest. Old school farmers always used the moon for planting, putting up fences, etc. The pull of the moon can make or break you. Yeah, absolutely. And that's another reason why this book is great, because if you're outside literally doing gardening, it has every suggestion for you. It's kind of like an extension of those old farmers' almanacs. Yeah. So the Lewins are absolutely great. Old school farmers always use the moon for planting, putting up. Yeah. Love it. Okay, so next new moon spell I've got from this book is this is for a new or a waning moon. And it's called Crystal Clear, and it's a way to bless in your altar on a new moon. Bottling up your magic. Okay, I'm going to read this one to you guys because I read it earlier and I really like it. It's for a new moon. In use since medieval times, organic bottles... Organic bottles! Where am I? No, magic bottles or spell bottles can function as protectors of your home, called witch bottles in the 1600s in New England. Now, I did a video on witch bottles, and those are something quite different than what we're talking about here. That one's kind of like a darker one, and this one is not dark. This is for protection, witch's bottle. 1600s in England. They were originally used to hold objects for magical uses. They have largely fallen out of use, but you can customize magic bottles for yourself with crystal stoppers or for a variety of reasons. You can put one in your garden for healthy plants, on the mantle to protect your home, next to your bed for love and happiness, and in the kitchen for good health. These magic bottles are mostly used for protection, but you can also place into them symbols for your dreams and desires, such as a white rose for peace, the herbs rosemary for remembrance, and cinnamon for spice of life. Potion ones, not witch bottles. Yep. You just cleansed your bottles today? That's awesome, because the new moon is a great time for cleansing as well. A lot of people charge their stones and such in the new moon, especially trees. They need their roots to take. Yep. For a calm and peaceful home, take a teaspoon of soil from the outside of your house or the closest park. Just go to the outside of your house and get soil, place it into the bottle with some smoky topaz or brown jasper. I don't have smoky topaz or brown jasper. Hi, Vile! Sorry I'm late. I'm really sorry. Happy new moon. Place the bottle. Yeah, but you know what? I don't have smoky topaz or brown jasper, but I do have a bottle of smoky quartz, and quartz is kind of like almost an all-purpose. So to me, if I was going to change that up and I really wanted to do it and I didn't have those two things, I would use a smoky quartz. Thank you, Vial. So what you do is you place the stone into the bottle and then place the bottle into the pot of a plant near the entrance of your home. Every time you water the plant, think about the sanctity of your home. As your plant grows, so will the tranquility of your residence. For luck or money, place 3 pennies and some pyrite or jade into a bottle and put it on your desk at home or your workplace. Shake it. I love that idea. Shake the magic jar whenever you think about your finances and your fortune will improve for 3 days. In 3 days. Yeah, I think that these are good too. I like this one. I need luck with money. Don't we all? Well, I don't want to interrupt what I'm talking about, but after I'm done talking about this, let's talk about American Horror Story or any TV shows that you're like watching right now. Just type them because I want to know. Because God, Netflix has been getting really good, and it's like depressing me because I was here all day and I like didn't do many videos, but I did get some personal rest, and obviously, you just made a prosperity pill? Starlight's a prosperity pill. Okay, here's a different one. For love, place a pink or red rosebud or rose petal, rose essence oil, and rose quartz into a bottle and keep it at your bedside. I love that. Each night burn a pink candle anointed with the oil from your love magic bottle. On the 7th day, your prospects for romance will brighten. Yay! So that was my favorite one from this book. Like, I'll just say that. And then we'll talk about some other new moon spells. Like I said, I've gone through and I've marked all the spells where they're waxing, waning, new moon, full moon. And then we can do some videos based upon what we talk about today. If there's any that you like. Any videos that you fancy. Also, you guys, more of you need to be making your own witchy YouTube channels. I love seeing my friends talk about witchcraft, and I just want to hear more from my close friends. And I want to make videos with each other. Okay, so, new moon. This one's cool. Ritual knotting. Cords to strengthen your life's energy. All you need is a paper scroll and a length of red thread or cord. The color red signifies life and active energy. After you feel you have fully focused your energy on the scroll, roll it up. Now proceed to tie knots in the order of the following traditional chant. And then there's a chant. Do you want me to say it? By knot of 1, this ritual is begun. By knot of 2, my wish comes true. By knot of 3, so mote it be. By knot at 4, the magic is even more. By knot at 5, the gods are alive. By knot at 6, my intention is fixed. I'm glad I'm reading this. By knot at 7, under the influence of heaven. By knot at 8, I change my fate. By knot at 9, all powers are divine. I actually really, really, really dig that chant. I'm probably going to be writing that, like, somewhere in my book of shadows or something. When you have completed all the knots, tie the cord around your scroll. Note in your book of shadows when the power of this spell unfolds. This will be very useful for future knotting work. Excellent. So, does anybody else have Halloween off? Crystal quartz, you don't want your family to find out what. Okay. Light your own... Oh, this one's like... I like Doors. I love Jim Morrison and the Doors. Trick-or-treating. Yeah. Yep. It's called Light Your Own Fire. Sage Wisdom. And it's for... Every witch should grow a pot of sage or a big patch in the garden. Sage is a must-have on hand for clearing energy. It also increases psychic potential. Most pagans are highly imaginative and very inventive folk. Whether your passion is growing or an artful garden, Whether your passion is growing an artful garden, throwing pots, which means making pots out of clay, cookery, or music, you can stay in better touch with your personal muse. Call her to you anytime, day or night, by your own design. This is essentially important if you're feeling inspired or struggling with a bout of writer's block. So we've got a new moon spell for writer's block. Oh yeah, you'll make your channel. You'll get there. How, are you still at home with your parents, Crystal? How old are you? I mean, or may I ask that, and may I ask why you keep what you do private? Is it because of your age and because you live with your parents? Okay. Because if it's not, and you're older and you're on your own, I'm so glad that at least you have a community on here that you can talk to. Yeah. Yeah, Vile, I always take Halloween off too. I always take Halloween off too. If I can, you know, like I gotta be on somebody's good side. Okay, the next new moon spell that I could do a video on, if you so please, is Goddess Invocation, Sowing Seeds of Change. And this one says it should be on a Sunday new moon. So, like, this one can probably only be done once or twice a year. Nature is the ultimate creator. At a nearby gardening store or hardware store, get an assortment of seed packets and seed newness into your life. If your thumb is not the greenest, try a wildflower mix or poppies, which are extremely hardy, growing quickly and spread, beautifying any area. They reseed themselves, which is a lovely bonus. I love poppies. I love, love, love poppies. On a new moon morning, draw a square in your yard with it. So there's a spell for that. I can go into more in depth if you like. Another new moon spell is Sandalwood spell for grounding. So if you need a spell for grounding for a new moon, this one is kind of interesting. It's called Pendulum of Truth Invocation. Many witches carry a pendulum with them at all times to make the right to help them make the right decisions. I don't carry a pendulum. Do you guys? It's not because I don't like them. It's just because it's not become a part of my practice yet. But I really would like to get a nice, like, I'd probably like to have a clear quartz pendulum, but I've seen them in, like, you can get a pendulum in any stone, right, Chris? I've seen them in rose quartz for sure. So yes, I sometimes see pendulums twirling over herbs and produce at the farmer's market or hovering over restaurant menus. That's cool. They have recently become available at most metaphysical stores, but a loving handmade pendulum is imbued with more personal energy. How do you make a pendulum? I want to know that. You can make your own with crystals you already own. Okay. Starlight, you in the book just said the same exact thing. Well, it is all new for me. I care close to my mother. I'm 53 years old. Old hag. Oh, you're not an old hag. Okay, so Crystal, you're 53, and you don't, nobody in your personal life knows about your witchcraft. I'd really like to talk to you more about that and see if it's something that you want to change within yourself. And actually, new moon is a great time to reflect upon that, Crystal. So, yeah, I mean, if you're happy with the way that what you're doing, then don't change it. But if there's something in you that's like, I wish it was this way, I wish it was that way, I wish I didn't have to hide this, I wish I didn't have to because witchcraft and planning and all this moon shit is already hard enough, right? Like, we have enough going on in our heads to organize. I feel like it would be great if we could have people in our lives, at least one. At least maybe you could have an Irene or something. Where you're like, yeah, there are various ways to keep your craft inconspicuous. I'm planning a video on that. Okay, so Crystal, please look up Starlight Spellsinger's channel because she's be doing a video on it. And I think that that's a really great idea. I'm looking forward to that video, Starlight. Okay, so we talked about pendulums. And yeah, so then that's the book. Loads of spells, and now I should probably talk about spells for the upcoming moon cycle. I personally found that I have a small few I can be fully about spiritual. Yeah, I get that, Vile. Okay, so now the moon is going to be waxing and getting bigger, right? So I put all those spells in yellow. So for a waxing moon, we've got a luck spell if you need to get something in the next 12 days. Let me know if you need to get something, because I have a spell for that during this moon that's going to be happening starting tomorrow and going for 12 days. I also have an incantation and some floral healing for the waxing moon. And I have a spell for peace and healing, a different spell for hex breaking and protection rite, and then a spell to make a magic rope for the new moon, which I read to you guys actually. Oh, you're from a Catholic family, Crystal. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally get it. I'm from a Catholic family too, and that's probably one thing that maybe connected us upon our channel. Okay. Well, Crystal, I'm gonna keep you in my meditations, and I'm gonna, just hope for your best happiness, and, I'm really glad that you have us to talk to. Okay, so the waxing moon, and also, you don't have to, you know, as you know, if you're doing witchcraft and you come from a Catholic family, Jesus is just one of the gods, right? Anybody can work with him, just like there's so many gods out there, right? Want to craft a besom. I'll show you the besom that I crafted. I didn't really craft it, though. I can't really take credit for it. I hope that you don't fall over. So pretty. So, I keep it in this beaker. And it's an old, like, antique, ostrich feathers. And I don't know why, I'm just so drawn to this. I got it for $20 in a thrift store. It was brand new, still had the tags on, and then I just covered him up with some of my really precious suede, that piece of leather that I actually have on the table back there. But I love this little besom. You say besom, I say besom. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. So moons. It's waxing. Starting tomorrow, and it's going to be getting bigger. So we've got for a waxing moon, a misty moon potion. Crafting magical tools is wonderful. I made a smudging fan. Oh, Vile, I love smudging fans. If you guys can see, I have a big jar of feathers back there by the cougar. I want to be making some smudge feathered, like, little fans. And, I want to make them out of peacock feathers. Oh, Brenda, Instagram. You guys, I wish I had more time. Like, I had an Instagram, and then I got a new phone, and now I don't, like, all I really want to do is YouTube, to be honest. I don't want to do all that, like, social media, and I haven't been on Facebook for 4 months or something. And the last time I was on there, I was trying to promote my channel, because I actually only have, like, 23 friends on Facebook, and they're all my closest friends, because I wanted to be unique junkie. Huh, yeah, I got a new phone and I haven't been on my Instagram for weeks. So, but on Instagram I'm the Taxidermy Witch, obviously. On Skype, I'm Jen the Taxidermy Witch, so if anybody wants to Skype, we could do some personal chat. And I feel like, Crystal, if you wanted to Skype, that would be really awesome, because we have a lot in common with our backgrounds. I know that you're much older than me, but we do have that Catholic background, and I think that it really halts people from doing what they want to do sometimes. Starlight, let's Skype! Yes, lady, let's Skype. So, you guys, find me on Skype right now, or when we're done with the live feed, and, you know, we can plan on just talking in private, because, There's nothing I don't want to say to you guys, obviously, but it would be nice for some of us to have conversations between the two of us and just be able to say whatever we like, right? Sorry about the bouncy. I just, my back hurts really bad today. I need to do some back pain work for spells. So that spell I made for my husband for that, what the heck is it? It's a papaya from somewhere amazing, and it's traveling in a box for 7 days, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow, but who knows. So keep us in your prayers that that thing gets here soon. Okay, so waxing moon, what else have we got? That's pretty much it. But I'm really, I suggest this book because it's got loads of spells in it. However, it's organized very poorly, and if there's you know how some books you just can't navigate through, and it's frustrating because the content is so good? That's one of those books. Okay, so what time is it? 9? Okay. New moon. I guess, when young people hear that, we might think of Twilight. I'm not putting myself in the young category. I'm in my 30s, you know? But I still was in love with Twilight when it came out. And when Harry Potter books came out, I was 18 or something. I know, ew, Twilight. I'm just saying that New Moon is the name of a Twilight movie. No, okay, I'm sorry. We're not talking about Twilight. I used to love it too. Until then I found out all about the writer and her history. And well, no, I still like it, but she wrote that whole series to promote keeping your virginity until you're married. From what I understand, she wrote that whole series for that, which is oh my gosh. I was drawn to your channel with all the witchy items and your hands-on teachings. Thank you. Any horror genre is great in my book. Okay, who's been watching the new American Horror Story, you guys? I love Anne Rice series too. I'm reading The Vampire Lestat right now again, because I really love Anne. I've not read her witchy books. Everybody's like, what? But when I heard she had a witch series, I was like, what? So yeah, I need to get into the Anne Rice books. The witch books. What are they called, you guys? Ever hear of Penny Dreadful? Yes, I've tried to get into Penny Dreadful, but I just can't get interested in it. This makes me so sad. I'll try again. Okay, Vile, you haven't read her witchy series either. Could you do a stretch mark spell ointment? Absolutely, Subliminals and Tarot. I will do a stretch mark spell. I'll rewatch this video so I remember. Penny Dreadful is great. Okay, who's watching the new American Horror Story that just came out called Apocalypse? Apocalypse is blowing my mind, and nobody will believe me. Okay, but if you've watched the new American Horror Story, which you have to purchase on Amazon Prime or watch on FX or whatever, but for $20 I purchased the whole season. The season crossovers are blowing my mind. Okay, Hotel coming into it, and the witches are coming back into it. You guys, the witches from season 3 are a huge part of season 7 or 8. Oh, don't tell too much? Okay. Okay, Purple, I won't. We won't talk about the thing I was going to talk about. I'll talk about it a different time. Okay, well, in the first episode, Vile, after you watch it, let me know and we'll talk about it. No, it's okay. Don't worry. It's horrible that I wasn't impressed with the Coven season. Starlight, I was impressed, okay? But I thought they could have done so much more. And I love that they put, Cornelia, I think her name was, the long blonde hair, who, I love that they made her, an herbal green witch, and she, had her own room that she was doing stuff in. Yeah, no, it was totally stereotypical, but it did have some great things in it. Like, I loved the whole conjure hoodoo side um, that they added into it. I really like that. But it was stereotypical. I mean, it's Hollywood, you guys. Stevie, I know. Stevie Nicks being on that playing Rhiannon, like, blowed my mind. It blowed it. And now I can't say words in the right tense. It blew my mind. Um, but Stevie in that was awesome. There was a lot of parts that I loved, and then there was a lot of parts I was like, eh. But I like how they, Stevie's coming back. I bet she will be back. I bet she'll be back in this season because the witches are all there. But I'm not revealing too much because that would be horrible. I just love that series though. I also love... What witchy shows do I love? I mean, I got Salem, but I can't say too much about it because I haven't watched too much into it. I just love the American Horror Story series. We're talking about new moons, though. I feel like we got off track, but we do have to wrap it up soon. Practical magic. Practical magic is great. Everybody should have a book of shadows to write down what works and what doesn't. Like, that's why we have the new Sabrina. I was never a Sabrina fan in my youth. I think it came after I was in my 20s when it got popular or something like that, or 18. So am I excited about that? Maybe. I mean, I'm down for watching anything new. Salem is awesome. A bit gruesome and inaccurate, but very cool. Sad it wasn't. It was canceled. Oh, I didn't even know that. So did they only make 2 seasons then? I love those ones that are like in that really old. Marilyn Manson was in it. Yes. Marilyn Manson became popular when I was very young, like 11. That took so much different than the old Sabrina. So, yeah, Sabrina. I don't know too much about it, but I think that it's cool, and I think that they made that show on a cool note. What else could we talk about? Well, I think that I should do some videos on this waxing moon that's going to be the new Charmed. I never watched the old Charmed either. Like, I watched the movie The Craft, and then I guess I figured the show Charmed was just kind of going to be the same thing. But yeah, I did start talking about television, and now we're talking about television. Yes, I'm interested in workings for other moon phases. Totally. Okay, Vile. So I will be doing a couple of these spells that you can do for the upcoming moon, which is waxing. And I think I've got like 5 or 6 in here to choose from. But it doesn't matter if you're on the live feed. If you watch this video in the next couple of days, and there was one of the spells I read, and you want to get a video on it, any of the moon phases that I read, yeah, waxing, because that's going to be what's happening now. Tell me, and I will make it for you tomorrow morning, because I'm waking up at like, I don't know, during these moon schedules, you guys, like, I take naps during the day, so I can do workings at night, and then, like, I have to plan it with my work schedule, and it gets nuts. But I'm really glad that 10 of you made it. Hi to everyone that's here. Thank you for joining. Yeah, Brenda, I know, nobody can keep up with all our videos. I used to watch my videos back, like, as I was uploading them onto YouTube to just make sure that I didn't do something silly or whatever. Yeah, binge them. I used to binge Lady Gravedancer, like, I had that playing on repeat, her whole video cycle for about 4 months once I found her, and I just became so inspired. Let's talk about what YouTubers we like. Let's talk about what YouTubers that are witchy we like to binge watch. I've always been horrible at working spells according to planetary timings. I know, I'm trying to get better at it. I always forget. Do you find it useful to do something different every day? Yeah, I mean, look, okay, do you see that orange calendar right there? I introduced it to you guys, and in the calendar I wrote on every day what the moon was doing. And if you have this planner, and they make a new one for every year, the Lewins, it says on every day what the moon phases in, and then it's also got a calendar here, which I feel should have the moon phases in, but I just draw them in. But yeah, it does have moon phases on all the days and tell you when the full and new moons are. You waiting to get the new one for 2009? Actually, in Barnes & Noble right now, I went there the other day, and they have one for the rest of 2018 and through 2019, which I love when they do that, you know, and I think they do that quarterly to try and keep up so that you don't have to buy a book and then wait 4 months to use it. So yeah, I'm really excited because I actually like to read them in full per quarter in front of me. Like, for instance, Witcher's TV is good also. I don't know Witcher's TV. I'll have to check that out, Bio. I guess like, oh, Witchery TV. Cool. I You know how sometimes I sit down and I make 8 or 10 videos in a day? Um I don't know if that makes me lose subscribers or make people stop pushing the bell. Do you guys get notifications when a video comes up of mine? Because that's the only way for me to reach you for the live feed, really. Okay, cool. But is anybody annoyed when they're like, oh my god, the Taxidermy Witch posts something else again and again and again? Because on my days off, I'll post like every 2 hours. I'll make a video, post it, make a video, post it. So, I just want to know if that's annoying to people. No? Okay. No? Never annoyed? Okay. Because sometimes when they pop up on mine and I just have a screen full of like something, I'm like, eh. Except when I'm watching like tonight. Yeah. Okay, nobody's annoyed. Good. And nobody's annoyed that we're talking about Conjure lately for the last... Where's my Conjure book? Where's my Conjure book? It's so good, you guys. We're like more than halfway through. Didn't notice because I was watching your videos. Haha. Hi, Ray Ray. Love you, Holly Witch, Lady Gravedancer, Joey Morris. I'll have to check him out. Circlefeca, Aphrodite Stone, Blessed Be, Belladonna Bones, Witches of the Flame, Coven of the Open Mind, Chris Ashburn, Hecatorus, Lilith Hecate Rev. Okay, well, I'll have to check those out. Lord Night Raven and the Witchy Mommy. Oh yeah, I subscribe to the Witchy Mommy, I think. Joey and Cruz are amazing. Hey, does anybody watch The Witches, Sable and Blonde? They don't have many subscribers, but I love those ladies. They're the best. Ah! Oh no, I lost my place. Oh well. We could talk about the spooky books I have. Been loving you. Where are you guys? Okay, so you guys should subscribe to... I don't know them personally, but they do subscribe to my channel. Spencer's has witchy stuff. Haha! That's great that Spencer's has witchy stuff. You know what? A buttload of ghost books. I think that it, this is what I was talking about, my Conjure book. Do hagstones actually work to see the fae? Okay, I hear that they do, but the way that you do it is you have to find the stone yourself and then look through it, and through the stone you could see the fae, but you have to find the stone yourself, and I've still been waiting to find a hagstone for like 3 years. Which reminds me, I need to make a fae offering tonight because it's Monday. Oh my gosh. So when we're done, I have to make a fae... I gotta write it down now. I can't find a hagstone either. I guess I'm just not a hag yet. I don't know. I don't know. Fae offering. I made them mead. And did anybody watch that series where I made metheglin? I could never find a hagstone. I've only found one years ago. I didn't know what it was. Haha. Yeah, they could be around rivers, absolutely, because the rivers run a lot. I mean, you could look for them on the beach and oceans and stuff, but I would think that rivers would be a better place. Yeah, subliminals. I think around rivers. I did a video on hagstones. Check that out if you haven't seen it. And then I did a video on hags. So Crystal, you were saying you're an old hag. Well, check out that video because it talks about the word hag, what it means, where it came from, all that good stuff. Can you guys see my cougar? Be cautious, that's all. I have always been scared of working with the Fae, but you inspired me to make them offerings anyway. Okay, that's awesome, Ray Ray, I'm glad, but make sure that you do your offerings, like, if you tell your Fae, that, you know, I'm going to be giving you weekly offerings, you better do your weekly offerings. That's why I've written that note. Like, where did it go? But, yeah, I've written my note. Fae, I can't forget about them. Because they're there and they're waiting. And, like, if I forgot to do that Fae offering, tomorrow I might have completely bad luck. I might lose a bunch of stuff because hide your keys. They think that things are funny, you know? Like, they find humor in teasing you. And if you don't give them offerings, they steal your shit! Exactly, Starlight Spellseeker! They steal your shit. Like, so, if you're gonna start working with the Fae Ray, make sure that you're like, you've got a calendar and you're like, Fae offering. Or you set a timer on your phone, Fae offering, you know? Because it's actually dark and I've never even done my offering past dark. So as soon as we stop talking, I'm gonna go out there. If you tell them that you're going on a trip, though, will they understand? Absolutely, and I'm gonna do a Fae offering on my trip. They have all your socks! The Fae have, like, one of each of all my best socks, too. Mischievous ones. And that's why I think I like them, is because they like pranks. And they're mischievous. Yeah, okay, we'll do. I have the only one little honor shrine. Oh, you made a shrine! Yay! All you can do is just, like, give them little flowers, tell them, and you know what they love to hear? You can also honor them by picking up trash on the road. Like, that's one of the biggest ways to honor them, to clean up nature. And that can actually be your Fae offering. Like, if you were on the road and you didn't have any bread, sugar, milk, honey, you know, flowers to give them, whatever, then you could just pick up trash, and they love to hear you say, I believe in fairies! Like, honestly, would they stick around for a Canadian winter outside? Yeah, they're not afraid of snow, and there's so many different types of Fae, so if you're in a snowy area, you'll have some different fairies than some people in a sunny area, from what I understand. But I don't have a book on the Fae yet. I've just been trying to do as much research as I can. Yep, and Holly Witch is also from Canada. And Vile's from Canada. Lots of Canadian viewers. Excellent. Woohoo! I'm from Seattle. I don't know if you guys know that. I feel like it's such a cool area here. Pennsylvania, Starlight, is that right? PA, is that Pennsylvania? I love Pittsburgh. We were there for a Tool concert not too long ago, which I think we talked about before. But this new moon, yep. This new moon is cool. So in Pennsylvania, is it, like super cold right now? You live near Pittsburgh? I wish I would have known you when I was over there, because right now you and I are on opposite ends of the country. I love the East Coast, though. I like the people there. I think they're pretty damn great. Because your name is the Taxidermy Witch, I have a favorite site I wanted to show you. I have a gorgeous fox face from them, and it was $5. Yes, please show me, Ray Ray. Ray Ray, find me on Skype. The Taxidermy Witch. Jen the Taxidermy Witch. I want to make them a little community with houses and stuff. I was wondering if they would use the houses, though. The little houses. Like, okay, listen. Right now, and you guys are going to laugh, I have this old dollhouse that I'm going to fix up really cool and give to the Fae. And that's going to be my indoor place for them to hang out and play. Thank you. And I already took the refrigerator out of the dollhouse and I made that my Fae door because the Fae love, like, little treats and foods. And if you haven't seen my video on my Fay door that I made for my garden, it's probably one of, I would say, like my top 20 favorite videos that I've made. Hansel and Gretel house, that would be so cool. Around Yule, do we make gingerbread houses, you know, or things like that of gingerbread? That's really fun. Some people said they will leave gems and knickknacks. Would that be a gift for you? They generally don't like metals unless they're very precious, like gold, silver. But they don't like metals that are like stainless steel. Like, they just like precious metals, from what I understand. And love crystals. Yep, crystal chips. And Starlight, weren't we talking about crystal chips in an amethyst oil? They love amethyst. So I had this polished amethyst. I put that in the little door, and it's a little dollhouse fridge. So it had all these shelves, and I put some mugwort from my garden, and I put a dread block from the end of my hair, so I could connect with them. I put all this stuff, so when they pass from that realm to this realm into my garden, they'll have all those gifts each time they go back in and out. So I want to make this dollhouse, and I'll pull it out for a video and show you guys. It's really pretty. And I've never known what to do with it because my daughter didn't play with it when she was little. She just like looked at it, and it was kind of a creepy thing to have, which is awesome. But now I'm going to find a way to make it into something really special for the fairies, like a cool offering space. And I think I'm going to ditch my TV, and I'm just going to put it there. Because I actually don't want anything in this room besides me and my craft. And I just don't want the TV in here, to be honest. It makes me lazy, that box behind me. When I don't anoint my little hanging gnome on the shrine every week, things start to going amok in the night. This is the only negative experience I've ever had so far. And it's not going to be like something bad, like someone gets hurt or there's a car crash or something. It's always something small, like, but it's enough to affect your life to piss you off. Like, you can't find your keys or your jacket or your smokes or your money or whatever you need. And they do steal stuff. They do. Okay, here's something funny. They sometimes fear them in Ireland. Oh yeah, they actually, in Ireland, from what I've understand. Okay, remember that, what was I reading? I was reading out of lore. I read to you guys so much. Where's my lore box? I'm so unorganized. Okay, I was reading out of lore this week for my Saturday Night Lore, and we were talking about the Fae in Ireland. We're changelings. Changelings is what we were talking about. I'm glad that you guys are liking the lore. Yeah. Also, can you guys be completely honest with me? You know how when I read, it's not always perfect? Like, I was never the kid in class that wanted to be called on to read. So I'm actually really surprised I'm reading books to you guys. But can I ask you to be completely honest and tell me, is my reading annoying? Or when I can't spell a word or whatever, is that, like, make me look dumb? Because when and I don't give a shit, but I just want to know how it comes across. Because when my channel gets bigger, which right now I'm about to hit like 300 people, which makes me so happy. Okay, thanks you guys. Yeah, it's real, exactly. Because when I watch other people and they edit their videos, it bothers me to see somebody's voice all chopped up. And so, good. I'm really glad that especially just you guys, my closest friends, are okay with me just being me and being real and reading to you guys. And the other day I read from my conjure book until I had no voice. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta drink tea for a while. The only time I edit is when I have an anxiety flare-up. I get that completely. You much prefer no editing videos, natural is better. Okay, good. Thanks you guys. And it's making me a better reader. It's making me more confident. It's helping me in many ways. So I'm really glad that it's good with you guys. Okay, guys, make sure that you comment in the comments and tell me what spells that you want to hear for this waxing moon that's coming up as the moon grows into a full moon after this. But please reflect onto your like a little bit darker side, you know. The new moon's a great time for that. And I can't tell you how much I love you guys and how dear your friendship is to me and how dear it is that you guys are all communicating with each other. So, I love ya, and I gotta get some spells done, get some rest, and then do some videos in the morning. Any video requests for the morning, post them now, and I'll do them because I'm just kind of all over the place with videos, trying to get through this book, but I know that people want to see new stuff, so requests, put them down. I love you guys so much. All my kisses, all my loves. That's Effie above me, the cougar. She's my baby. Alright guys, have a beautiful evening. I love you.